No, you don't.
to maybe think about.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a thought,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can maybe take a look and see if you can find somebody who can do anything or not do anything, or who can hold on or let go or be anybody. And I really I found Bob's pointer of the me being the cause of all psychological suffering to be very accurate, because every time I'm upset about something, I've noticed, usually it has something to do with my thoughts and my opinions, and there's always a me involved. And if there's a you involved, that implies the me. So I can't say that that getting pissed off never happens. All I can say is that I can't find anybody who does any of it. So I think that's helpful to take a look at, and or it's been very helpful. Is yeah, that and the idea is that really nothing can trouble you except in your own imagination. When Bob used to say, break that word down into image in. Wow, that is so clearly dreaming. And I've talked about this with you before, and you debate me a little on this one, but maybe people have died in nightmares or whatever because their heart rate went up, but
Yeah.
I never heard of people, just pretty rare that somebody gets PTSD from a nightmare, because the moment they wake up, they can see it was a dream.
If they can.
Most of the time they do. When we can wake up from a dream, we go, oh, phew. I mean, yeah, I've had nightmares. I mean, you wake up and you go, thank God I'm not in school and I haven't flunked my math class that I'm like 30 minutes late for the exam, and yay. And that story is not unfolding. That's not even, yeah, I think that's helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah.
other pointers?
Just as yeah. There, yeah, I think it just is. I like the pointer that it's, there is nobody here. There, and all of this separation, or the dream of separation, is really, there's isn't, well, the dream is still, that doesn't exist, does it? So, but this dream is constructed with words. And when we're in this deep sleep, there are no words, so don't have a problem. So anyway, I find that these ideas, even if there is nobody here, so that's where I kind of said, I've been thinking about it. I have the meetings that I host on Mondays. There's somebody who points out that there's really nothing in it for the me. And you and I were talking about that yesterday, and you're right. I mean, there really is no me. There's not even a thought. The thought's a thought. So there really is none. And at the same time, if I'm going to use that word while I'm talking about the word me, what is it? Isn't it in reference to a personality, a body, memories, patterns? Am I those things? Or am I that which is aware of that? So I'm not any of that. That's helpful to look at that and see that. And anytime I feel like I've noticed when I'm feeling like it really helps me when I miss Bob, is just to notice that, oh, wait a minute, it's really just a thought that makes me think that he's not here. Or he could be missed.
Yeah.
Or another thought that there is a him and a me, you know what I mean? So, or something should be other than this.
Yeah.
That's the case with everything though, isn't it? So you know.
Mhm.
There is something that I'd seen from somebody else. I have to look it up though, because I can't remember the quote.
Don't worry
But-
about slogans.
The point was just that it was very liberating when it could be seen anyway, that in this moment, if I wanted to access a sense of well-being, all I have to do is shut the fuck up for a moment. You know? That and maybe allow
Mhm.
the shutting the fuck up, but also allowing whatever shows up in that moment. And here I am.
Mhm.
What's wrong with now if I'm not thinking about it, right? So that's very game changing,
Mhm.
even if there is no game.
Yeah. Mhm.
The title of your new book. What's wrong with right now? If I don't shut the fuck up.
Maybe a chapter in it anyway. Yeah. Well, no, when I was, because I thought about having my little book of creating a book about, really, it was a non-duality type question that helped me when I was batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was a good pointer.
Mhm.
And it's like, you're certainly buying into a lot of thought, buying into a me, for sure, was happening.
Mhm.
Why the fuck would I do that intentionally? You know what I mean? Who would do that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
why would I do, there's no way I would voluntarily choose any of that.
Absolutely.
Oh, and seeing that there's no fucking choice.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
That's also game changing, just that.
Mhm.
But you, other people, I've said this to other people, but this is not pertaining to non-duality necessarily, but when it's seen that there's no choice, there's no one here to have a choice, is what Bob used to point out. That's really a more important part.
Yeah.
But there's no choice. If there's no choice, then there's no responsibility.
Mhm.
There may be still an ability to respond.
Yeah.
So there's a response ability, but there's no one here, there's no responsibility. So we don't get like, we don't charge give the 3-year-old who murders somebody the death penalty, do we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
We don't even say, we don't even judge him or hate him. We just
That's
kind of maybe
correct.
treat him with maybe a little bit more
Yeah.
care,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
But
Funny.
because we believe in blame, or we believe in choice, we blame. And because we blame, we judge. When we judge, we feel like shit. So the judging is like, all that is really believing in a doer,
Mhm.
an entity. And what had come up in that time I went batshit crazy was
Mhm.
I was buying into a me that could reincarnate.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh yeah, very special me, by the way. It wasn't just any me. Just, you know, I'm not just Jesus' mom. I'm everyone's mom, because I was a reincarnation of Eve and Mary. Yeah, that's me, folks. And it's, the world is coming to an end, and I'm back, and I gotta, you know, we got 2 weeks. There's always a time limit.
Yeah.
And
Then you get more
and-
grandeur.
yeah, no, it was pretty grand. That's pretty grand. That's very special.
Mhm.
But I remember thinking, like, the thought that came up that was kind of helpful, because I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, so I've learned a few things. Just maybe I'm not as educated as Tanya, but I knew enough to know that what they're looking for in symptoms of a manic episode. And the thought that came up is, what would they be thinking, you know, or my delusions of grandeur, which is one of the symptoms. And I thought, well, they would think that
Oh, Fragen.
was that.
Just check it out. You keep going.
So what would be the delusions of grandeur? And the thought that showed up was, well, I'm the reincarnation of even Mary and Queen of the Universe.
Mm.
Okay, well, fine. Maybe that's true. The false cannot stand up to investigation. Let's take a look. I mean, the truth wouldn't have a problem looking at it. So can you find the one? If you're not a body, mind, thought, emotion, behavior, no, it's a Sedona method, but you know, there's also pointing, can you find the one who can be any of that? And I, you know what, just for a second, half a second, there was silence, you know what I mean, for a moment.
Mhm.
And then it was easy to see my thoughts were full of shit. And then you know, just that helps.
That's sanity.
You know, it was just, but it was a pointer, I guess.
And it doesn't matter
That-
whether the thought says you are a queen of the universe or whether the thought
But
says
no,
that
but
you
it's
are
really
not good
more the
enough.
belief in the thought that's the problem.
Yeah.
So it was believed.
Mm.
And there was a, you know, I've thought about this. You know, we were talking earlier today about Christianity, and that was part of this path. There was no path. There was only here, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I forget what I was going to say. But yeah, my mind just spaced. I hate that.
Spacing out is good. You know, as you said in the beginning, when you shut up, suddenly the light shines of its own. So when the veil, there's a break in that dense cloud of thinking, interpreting, meaning making, justifying, then suddenly the natural light shines through.
Yeah, and when it's seen.
Mm.
Well, now you're not the thing that's doing that, are you?
No.
You know?
No.
Yeah, there is no one doing any of it.
No.
And that's like, wow, you know, that's
Mm.
really getting
Mm.
off the hook, isn't it? You know what I mean? For nobody.
Yep.
But see, that's where, like, so in this meeting, they're like, oh, see the nobody then. What is better? There's just, it does seem to be a traveling lighter, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
It's life is not taken as seriously
Mm.
by what? That which I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that does seem to change the game for
Mm.
just even the pointers. We're listening to them. You know, I don't feel the necessity to talk about it as much as I did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's freedom.
I don't care.
That's freedom. Any compulsions, any preoccupation, self-preoccupation. When that things ease off, there is lightness. Even if they ease off a little bit.
No, there's much more interest in,
But
in
yeah.
just what's the space. There was something Bob used to talk about, and this came up a lot as I was visiting America last week. My home. That the only thing he said was the only thing that doesn't change is the space that it's all appearing on.
That's it. Yeah.
And everything else, I was back in my favorite American junk food doesn't exist anymore. Paoli's is out of business. Oh yeah. Oh my God. They stopped making my vegetarian bologna that I liked.
And still is the space that deserves the credit.
Yeah.
Bob
You
would
know
say, give credit where credit is due. Give it a wink.
Yeah.
Give it a hug. Just see that all those things, yeah, sure. You know, if you love and appreciate them, you love and appreciate your own grieving it too as another appearance, but the space is why it can even happen.
But you know
Without
something
it-
I've noticed that when I'm loving and appreciating even this feeling like shit,
Yeah.
guess what happens is it's hard to feel like shit anymore. It's like, it's kind of like this. Like imagine somebody who's into like S&M, beat me, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Would they complain if you actually gave them a little spank? They would want it, right? So there's no problem with that. People who cut themselves, they're wanting that physical pain, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or something. They're wanting to, I don't know.
Well,
But
really,
they're
they just want to distract themselves from emotional pain.
I guess so. But they wanted to feel that. And if they didn't feel physical pain in that moment, they would be not happy.
I mean, it doesn't say that they're particularly happy needing to distract from emotional
I guess
pain.
no, yeah.
It's not really.
No,
very happy
but you know what I'm
place.
saying?
Yes, yeah.
I'm just saying that
Yeah,
when we're okay with the pain,
yes.
when we're
Self-organized.
celebrate it, when it's fine, when we allow it,
Yeah,
it tends to dissipate all by itself.
that's right. Yeah, if you relax enough attention to be the space for the happening, even compulsion happening, even behaviors that are
You just watch it,
coping
or watch the
coping
mind.
mechanisms.
all of it.
Space is never touched by it. There is a suffering in here, but the one that is presence, witnessing it,
It has no
is
fucking
not
problem.
touched.
Yes,
Mm.
and it's totally fine with all of it.
Yeah, so there is a point, there is a place in your heart right now where there is absolutely nothing wrong, when there is no suffering, even if there is a depression or desperation on the surface.
Yep.
There still is that presence in which that desperation, depression happens, and that presence isn't touched. Yeah. And having even a glimpse. Yeah, I actually, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I know it. Yeah. In that knowing is the recognition. In that is the resonation. And in that, it's that shining of its own. Because initially, and this is very often in the individual conversations that I have, people would say, I understand it all intellectually, but I can't really, truly, fully see it. I just believe it.
What are they looking for then?
Yeah, that's the point. You know, if there is still a dense sense of me, and there is a subtle expectation that that me will understand something or see something or let go of something, that's the wrong way of looking at it. That has to be missed. It will be missed. That's already missed. That's the dukkha, missing the mark, overlooking the fact that even that whole act, even the whole drama of the dense sense of me wanting and longing and hoping is still an appearance in the space. And there is that part of cognizing capacity of the space, completely seeing the whole drama arising without needing to pretend that this is who I am that drama arising. So that is the only way of recognizing it. And sometimes initially it may be just a faint glimpse, but once that faint glimpse shows up, well, it's like putting the doll of salt into the water, and it dissolves every time it's seen through. That construct, that illusion, that cage
And it
made of
doesn't
comfort.
quite come up as much or as long as it used to. Do you know what I'm
As
saying?
long as what?
Well, at least it's like every time it's seen through.
Yes, because the
It's just-
tendency for the habitual constructing of the identity and operating from that perspective, that's the habit that is lifetime long. And that habit keep reinforcing itself. So initially it might be just a little insight, and the habit will still come. Like Bob says, you've seen through the ocean or the sky, you've seen the blue water, you've seen the blue sky, you've investigated, you grab a glass of water from the ocean, it wasn't
You don't have to
blue.
look again.
You never have to look again. And the same is with the sense of me. You looked, there is no little miniature here, no one there, and yet as you walk about, as you speak, it still appears to be blue. It still appears to be that blue complaining mind there saying, this is me. Though you know it is just a mirage, it is just an appearance. But a habit is strong until it explodes in a blast. But most of the time, it just rewrites the whole interpretation of the world bit by bit, like onion. So that, yeah, those are, and thank you, Julia. We still have a few minutes. So Tanya, would you like to add a couple of pointers, or Dina, would you to make it half an hour introduction?
Just when Julia was talking about enjoying or seeking the the pain of cutting oneself or SM kind of behavior, that kind of thing, and that being, interpreted as a way of seeking relief or distraction. There's a really old saying that my grandfather used to tell me, if you've got a problem, stick a stone in your shoe.
Yeah.
And that the media will take away, it will distract you from the, focusing so much energy on that same problem that comes up in the form of a persistent thought or something you're giving energy to. But it's actually a functional, really good tip.
Yeah.
Just to be distracted from pouring attention and energy of belief into a thought. And when we do that, we literally make things matter.
Yeah.
We make them solid. We make them real. Yeah, stick a stone in your shoe. See what happens.
Dino, you want to add something?
Well, hi. Like the meeting, we started off, Julia, like pretty much stating the ground level stuff that there is no me. There is no me, and if anyone's got a problem, if anyone's looking for a God, if anyone's looking for a solution, some enlightened state or some higher place or something, well, the fact of the whole thing, like the whole no me business, is there is only this, and this is the undeniable presence of your existence, of existence itself. And that is like the very basic foundation of which this everything exists within or as part of. And within that, people deny that, and then all that seems to happen is this self-centeredness, this obsession in oneself. And you could call it selfishness if you like, in a different way. And that, you just started off by pointing out it doesn't actually exist. So the obsession with this self-image that isn't even there becomes less obsessive when the foundation of your existence itself becomes the central ground, in which it always has been anyway. It becomes the focus, or the attention is in the awe of existence itself, of the thisness, of the nowness, of the presence in which everything is appearing. And that in itself dissolves that selfish tendency to obsess within the confines of the skin boundary, or whatever you want to call it. And it expands to just everything, the totality of existence. There's no limits to that. There is no selfishness in that. There's no self-center, because there isn't one. And the more that's seen, the more it cuts off the idea of that selfishness, more and more and more. So that was my little summary of what was said so far today.
And it was quite beautiful, because everyone knows not everyone had manic episode and been in a psych ward, but this is actually a wonderful example. That's why I'm talking Julia into writing a book about it, of the same phenomena just amplified, because that potential for manic episode is within every mind. So you may have that self-obsession amplified to the point of delusion of grandeur, when you are so huge and you're so wonderful, and it is really kind of like pumping you up. Or you may have the other side of the coin. I'm so worthless, I want to die. Either way, it is self-obsession, self-importance run riot, amplified to the point that you cannot not see the insanity of it. And this is the most beautiful, like, tipping point, that if those pointers arise, if those reminders arise in this moment, and see through that very, very amplified, very blown up self-image, then all the other versions, more subtle versions of self-image. Oh yeah, I'm just average, I'm all right, or I'm just a woman, or I'm just a human. All of those identities are the same. They are just like Julia was saying. You see the like a blob in the moment of silence, in the moments where all those clouds just open up slightly and the pure light shines, and see, oh, they're all just clouds. So yeah,
Yeah,
go
they're all
on.
clouds. Like, which
Yeah.
cloud is the real cloud? Like the
Exactly.
Mickey Mouse cloud or the Donald Duck cloud?
Oh yeah.
or the character, this one or that one? Which cartoon character are you?
So what's nice about this community, I think,
Mm.
is that we have at least our little community to remind each other or ourselves when, because sometimes, I don't know, we can, if you don't have to go batshit crazy to get stirred by your story. You know what I mean? To get into it a little.
Yeah.
So it's helpful to have people in our life, even if there are no people.
It's just a nice dream. It's a beautiful
Yeah, no, but
dream.
it's helpful to have people in our life to remind us, wait a minute, so wait a minute, you notice there's a story you're giving a lot of attention to. Wouldn't it be a little bit more relaxing if you were attentive, if you were maybe a little bit more attentive to that just sense of being?
Yeah.
Instead of the story about how it should be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nicer? And that's nice to have people like that in your life, because I'm thinking of a movie actually that was Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind. And there's a scene in the movie where, so he had schizophrenia, but he had sometimes he would see things where
Yes.
that
Shot
maybe
with
other
ghosts.
people wouldn't see or hear things or whatever. And he would say there was a young student, he was about to receive his prize. I think it was a Pulitzer or I don't know, Nobel or something, big prize for his math work. But he was seeing somebody over there in the corner, and he just said to us, "Is that a human there?" Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I guess why I brought that up is I'm seeing is like, yeah, it's nice to have this beautiful mirror.
Yeah. We are pack animals, and part of the whole, pack association is just for intensifying the appreciation of existence. That's the loving to be, life loving to be, experiencing itself as a community. And if there is any sense of all experiencing and expressing, that one essence, experiencing and expressing, well, the love and appreciation is a very obvious one, isn't it? So yeah, your appreciation is appreciated. And I've seen for a moment, I've seen the hand up. Primali. So Primali, would you like to come up? And I think we have the chat. Oh yeah, would you like to read them? Because
Sure, I can read them. And just the comments Jenny added earlier, access the well-being by shutting up a moment. I love that one. And Yvonne says, yes to all pain, like SM. Good on you, Yvonne. And Jenny says, the sense of being enjoys the experience of being in companionship with others. Yes, a pack. So,
Hi, Kat. Hi, team. Is there more to read?
hi, Primali.
Hi. Is there more to read or everything is done?
You're good to speak? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to talk about the stillness, Kat. See, in my case, stillness can't be felt. I mean, when when sadness or anger comes, what happened here is I sometimes go back to Bob's pointers, read the book that what that book is, or sometimes I listen to a YouTube talk from somebody I like, and then what happened is there's very nice feeling comes up, and sort of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a good energy, so that anger or sadness is no longer there. So whenever anger or sadness comes, that's what I do. So I don't know whether I mean, it is not me doing it. That's what's happening. And that energy, it's so nice. So that happens by itself. Instead of being sad or angry, that happen, and that nice energy comes, and it's really nice. So sometimes it stay whole day, sometimes it doesn't. But if I want to, I don't know, if whenever I miss that energy, that's what happened. I go and listen to something or read that book or something, and then that energy comes back. I don't know. I mean, I know what you are talking about, stillness, because that sadness or anger or whatever, that bad feeling goes away when when the recognition comes. There is nobody. Like, then it is just metta. I don't know what's the kindness, loving kindness. When I see that there is nobody, it's just patterns interacting each other. Then whatever anger, sadness goes away, and instead of that, loving kindness, sort of like, I don't know, that sort of feeling, and good energy. So it's not the stillness, but what I mean is like, that's what's happening here.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what's happening. And you narrated it really nicely from the position of the witnessing presence. You know, this is what's happening, and then this action is happening, and then this is happening. You know, the Nisargadatta would take a bidi and smoke, and that would give him a good feeling. And it doesn't really matter what are the strategies exercised by the body, but what does matter is that, you know, your narration, your perception, and your actually showing what is happening is from the position of that cognizing emptiness discoverer, discovering, oh, when anger and sadness shows up here, then the thought comes of watching a YouTube, and then there is watching happening, and then there is a positive feeling happening, and these feelings disappear. You know, that is really just showing how the mind functions in this particular situation. I know people who respond differently. I go to Al-Anon meetings and they say, you know, my husband is a drunk, and when the bad feeling comes, he goes and drinks half a bottle of whiskey, and then he feels very, very happy, and then he goes to sleep. Another strategy, neither better nor worse, but if you actually present that strategy in completely like non-judgmental way, you're curious about it and it is working, there's a lot of benefits. It's much healthier to watch a YouTube video and drink half a bottle of whiskey to feel good. Plus, you know, resonating with a frequency of pointing can actually bring about the moments of absolute, yeah, loving kindness and bliss. That's yeah, wow. What a better way of being than the poor bugger who has to go to food or gambling.
And at the same time, we're not really talking about like getting out of feelings or changing them, or there's no changer. So all feelings in this wholeness, in this nowness, in this presence, everything is open to being experienced. Everything can come up. There is no limits to it. There is no restrictions. And everything that comes up is it. It's undeniably it. It's inescapably it. But it's always in change too.
Mm.
And I just thought I'd add that bit. But there's I think there's a hand up. Julia,
oh, wonderful, and welcome, Julia. And if there is anyone with us who hasn't been here before, welcome everyone. This is a friendly talk.
I ask one more question, Dean?
Sure.
So you said every feeling is welcome. So whatever anger, sadness, all the feelings are welcome. So
Whatever comes, nobody has any saying.
Yeah, nobody has any saying.
Mm-hmm.
And also that when the anger or sadness comes,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I stay there. I mean, not I stay there, staying happens, and that feeling is welcome. But sometimes I watch YouTube video, watching YouTube video happens, and then so that's again also what's happening, isn't it? So when
Absolutely.
Of
anger,
course.
Yes.
when anger, sadness comes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is what's one. So I one of my friends said also, like, all the feelings are welcome here. So if all the feelings are welcome here, why is this watching YouTube happens when anger, sadness comes?
Why not?
Why does anything happen?
Yeah. Why is the feeling that I want to watch YouTube not to be welcomed
Hmm.
if it comes?
Yeah, but is that so? Why are you saying? Why is Dean saying? I know what you are saying is making sense, but I want to understand that. So why are you saying every feeling is welcome here?
Yes.
Like, is it because I mean every feeling is welcome? Yes, in a way, but like if somebody is angry, if I'm angry, then that's hurt the body. So I am not enjoying anger. You know what I mean? So is that me, like if anger is welcome, then why are we welcoming anger which is hurting us?
Well,
You have no
what's the
choice.
concept? Yeah, well, there's no choice. And just notice your
There's no one
resistance to
welcoming it.
anger.
Yeah.
How is that helping?
Yes.
No. What I'm asking is, what I'm asking is, if everything is welcome,
Mm-hmm.
like everything is welcome, yeah, I understand that because everything is welcome. It's that human nature. But what I'm saying is, if sadness is welcome, right, and then somebody, because there was a time I was really sad, and then that time sadness I was missing a lot of other things in my life, but now sadness is not that much. It just comes and goes, and I enjoy life more.
Yes.
Okay,
So-
that's good. It is nicer without sadness, isn't
What's
it?
the
No, no, what-
question? What's the question?
Yeah, I'm just going to the question, not it.
Yeah.
So if the sadness is welcome, then if it was welcome, I won't look for way out of sadness, isn't it? And then I won't.
You don't
Yeah,
have to.
There is no I,
Yeah, I know there's no I, but
but there is no
but-
I, but.
no, seeking happened because sadness was not welcome. So because sadness was not welcome, seeking happened, not my doing. It
Seeking
happened.
happens not because of sadness not being welcome. It's because we think that there is somebody that can.
Also, the seeking happens is and justifying story. You know, why breeding happens. You can have 10,000 theories why it happens. Oh, because life is a school, or because this, because of that. Seeking happens not to dodge negative emotions, but seeking happens full stop. Dodging happens full stop. Full bladder happens stop. Winter happens. Cold happens. You know, like everything is welcome, not by me. It is not me. I welcome sadness, therefore I won't be running away. There is no one here. So when sadness arises, then the resistance to sadness arises, then trying to dodge the sadness arises, then cutting myself to distract myself from sadness arises. This is all the patterns, shapes, forms, behaviors, everything arises. And I have no doing, no choice. I'm the presence, I'm the space. So the idea that if this arises, that means that is just a thought. It
Yes,
has no base at all. There
Yes.
is no connection.
And the sadness has a place, anger has a place, joy has a place. This is a dualistic world illusion.
Resisting is her place too.
Resisting, the grasping has a place. how would you know one from the other without the two ends of the stick, the two sides of the coin? It's impossible not to have that.
Yes.
That is how the whole shebang, the whole mechanism turns. That's how it operates. And it is a concept that anger is bad. It is a concept that sadness is bad, unwanted.
Dodge it.
And it's a concept to try and be without it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, like I like to come back to, you cannot see the whole picture ever.
Mhm.
Know what, you know, but trust in life that got you here. Sleeping, God knows what it's doing. Doesn't need to be trained, corrected, changed, altered. It's got you, the little mini me you think you are.
Yeah. So that stillness that Kat, you are talking about. So that stillness, like, do you mean like if that stillness is recognized, and if that stillness, when the sadness comes, it doesn't matter because I, I am not sure what that feeling is. So, or anger, because I am
Trying
so
to imagine it, Primali. See,
Yeah.
if the sadness comes to the dog, because there was 2 dogs and one of them died, if the sadness happens to the dog, what happens? The responses will be as many as there are dogs. Some dog will go to the food, some dog will sit on the grave, some other dog will do yet something else. And what does it matter what response comes if sadness arises? What does it matter if the response is running away from sadness, drinking, or watching spiritual video? It doesn't matter. It depends on the condition of the body. If you make it important, you're going to be slave to it, and you're going to be believing that you should respond differently because you're spiritually bypassing or other nonsense that comes with it. You are discovering responses to sadness, responses to anger as they arise, and you never know what your next thought is going to be. You never know your next response.
I think what might be helpful for you is to allow yourself to be as clueless as you already are.
Not know, like beautiful, Julia. That's
Okay, well, me too, but
not
that's why.
get it, not understand it.
Yeah, well, it was like, as I was beginning to learn about these
Mm.
pointers and non-duality, I was like, oh, well, constantly asking questions. Yeah, why, what causes, and how, and
And
what.
if it's like this,
Yeah.
then why not like this?
Yeah, why?
Yeah. If
That
why,
question,
if
that
why.
question will keep us
Cause
in our head
effect.
forever.
Yes.
And they used to say before they would like answer my question always, but then they'd be like, well, before we do that, can you let go of wanting to figure it out first? You know? And then we'll answer the question. Okay, oh yeah, good. Because they didn't want to try as long as I'm still in my head trying to figure it out, because while I'm still trying to figure it out, I'm not listening to the answer.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you just, all right, allow yourself to be, if, because they used to say to me, could you let go of wanting to figure it out? But for me, it's actually more helpful to say, can I allow myself to be as clueless as I already am?
Yeah.
Can I just let that be and just let myself not know? It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good slogan, very good slogan. But you know what? I mean, Primali, if you still have a question.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Kat. That's fine. Thanks everybody. Thank you.
Okay, and we also had Yulia. She was just unmute, and next one is Jenny. So Yulia, would you like to unmute? And sorry for.
Yes, no problem. I'd like to say that I relate to what Julia was saying about having a manic episode, because I have bipolar 1 myself.
Me too.
Wow.
And it's yeah, and it's like, it's so funny and incredible how like high and low the mind can get, like how so insane it can get. And like, yes, I did have this like feeling of grandiose, where I was the substance from which the world was made, or on the opposite side, I was someone who was like disappearing and the world was disappearing. And it was very scary because like I thought that nothing would remain. So yes, I had this like different ups and downs, but at the same time, I kind of like even when I was just like in the midst of it, I kind of like felt like there is something watching it, like there is a space in which this all happens. And this space wasn't it wasn't touched by like the crazy experiences or crazy thoughts or emotions. And I can recognize the space like in any memory that like I have a memory of something and I know that there was like a space in which this memory happened, like this. I mean, I'm thinking about something like I'm thinking about like walking in the park, and I kind of like the memory of it is like a bubble, and inside the bubble is like the park and me and everything happening.
Yeah.
However, when I'm like here, it's a bit trickier to feel myself as this like space. It's easier when I'm like thinking about the past for some reason, I don't know, but in the present I kind of like there is the space, but in the middle of it the like sense of self is kind of like hijacking it in a way. It's like maybe it's like a mask. It's of some sort which I'm kind of like wearing, which I put on the space, and like I'm looking from this mask. And it's kind of like, I guess, how you Kat were saying, if we have this like glimpse of our nature as the space, we can just like keep coming back to it, and then the sense of self will kind of like dissipate.
Yeah, because
Okay, so,
yeah, the mind is trying to do it for you. Like, okay, you know, I know what it is. I'll think you into it. I'll think you to be a space back again. Mind can't do that. It is the cessation of the mind. It's the relaxing of the mind.
That's what I was going to kind of suggest is can you pause a thought for just a moment and allow for yourself for a moment to be without the thoughts. But now when you do that next time for a moment, take a look and see if you can find a me without words in that space. So if there's no, I don't know, can you find it? That
I was actually
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I cannot find anything like solid. And sometimes when I go to sleep, I kind of like try to find myself, like find a self. And it's always some sort of like sensations in the face, usually, or in the throat, like some sensations. And I'm kind of like going to one sensation and kind of like realize that it can't be me because it's like separate from me. And then the other sensation and the other end is like hide and seek. And I always think maybe it will never end, like this trying to find the self, never finding it, but still thinking maybe this sense of self still somewhere, like right now. Yeah, I know, like
see who is trying to find the self.
Yeah, I guess there is like this idea that I need to get it and finish it and stop the seeking. So I am still,
that's impossible.
There's an effort involved.
Yeah. But you know that that's impossible. That I can never find the answer. I is condemned forever to be the mask and nothing else. But there is a subtle knowing about that poor I trying to find the answer and become space. There is a subtle knowing of the whole show, of the whole drama of seeking, of the me trying to eventually cease or stop or understand. That whole drama is appearing on that screen of consciousness. That consciousness is the field in which that drama of seeking is happening. That consciousness doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to imagine, understand, nothing. It is already fully content, absolutely perfect as it is, still as it is. It needs nothing. It's just like seeing doesn't need to do anything to see a particular thing. That thing is already arising in the seeing. Nothing needs to be done. Just relax and recognize that it's all already done, already comfortably here. And the me is arising and trying to find, and beautiful, the inquiry that you do is beautiful. Look, sensations in the face, am I the sensation? No, it's absolutely brilliant. You see that there is everything you can find is just a vibrating energy, nothing else. But who is looking? See that the very nature of very trying to find and seeing the vibration is just another vibration. The vibration of trying is arising in consciousness. The inquiry itself is another way. It's not a sensation in a physical realm. It's another form. It's a sensation in the mental space. Like the sensation in the visual space will be the object you see. And in the mental space, it will be that attempt of trying or getting or referring to myself or relating. It's just another vibration. And it happens in the consciousness that you are.
Yeah, I can see that. And I think there's like this sense of self just doesn't want to give up the game, like because it would be so boring without trying to like meditate or do self-inquiry or something. And it would be like I would be left just with this, and it kind of like, yeah, it's the sense of
Sweet,
self is
isn't
kind
it?
of not ready.
Sweet, isn't it? It's sweet. It just say, oh, no, let's play. Let's pretend that there is someone
Yeah.
there. Let's keep pretending that there is someone in charge, someone who can choose, someone who can decide, someone who can manipulate, control, run the show. It's such a fun game. Let's keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it might be kind of sad. I kind of sad for it, yeah, because it is the game that's been like it was used to playing it since like I was a kid, so it's no wonder that it tries to stick to it.
Yeah, and it loves it. It's in love with the game. It's in love with it. And just enjoy that little imagined entity pretending to be separate and pretending to be in control of the world. And just love it with all your heart and enjoy its antics. You're already talking from the point of space, of freedom. If you see what the mind is doing, how it doesn't want to let go, where are you looking from?
Mm-hmm.
Thank
you.
Thank you. And just delight in it. You know, that any fighting it, any resisting it makes no sense. Just laugh at it. That's the greatest joke, because the game doesn't really stop. The moment it is seen through as just the programmed behavior, as just the whole autopilot, the whole idea of hallucination of some self running the show, is all the game. If you see through it, it doesn't lose its charm the least. Not at all, quite the opposite. You laugh much more because the game keeps going on. The identity keeps arising, the tendency to identify as self. The oceans still appear blue. But now you know it is just a pattern of behavior. Now you know there is no undoing it. That's not you. So the game actually, it ups the game. It doesn't end it. It doesn't get boring. But prove it to yourself.
I thought like the idea was like to stop having a sense of self altogether, but do you mean that it will always like play games and arise and do stuff?
The sense of separate self, that stops. But the sense of presence, that never stops. There is a sense of presence, or the consciousness. Bob defined consciousness as the awareness utterly aware that it exists, or the existence utterly aware that it exists. Like the field of space doesn't know that it exists until it is filtered through that brilliant machine projecting consciousness. Now it's conscious. Now I know that I am. I know there is an existence. I can't stop being. But now the mind comes and says, I am this little person, soul or ego somewhere inside that runs the show. And that's simply a thought. That's an idea. But the existence itself, the sense of presence, the sense of being alive and being conscious, that's not an idea. Because even when I stop thinking, the absolute certainty that there is an existence present without any thought boundaries, without any body, mind, anything. It's just an existence. There is a conscious presence here, even when there is no thought. When you look into the eye of a newborn baby, you see there is an aliveness looking out of those eyes. You see there is a sentience. You see that this baby is conscious and it doesn't have any thoughts, any concept of being a baby whatsoever, any shape in the mind, nothing. It's pure consciousness. So now if you realize you are the same consciousness, but with the program added onto it, that of identifying as the body mind, but it's still the same consciousness, just thinking I'm my car now.
Sorry, I'm just like a bit confused because like were you saying that the sea will anyway appear blue, so there still will appear someone doing things? Because
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't it appear right now as if I'm speaking? It appears as, oh, there is Kat here and she's speaking.
okay,
It still appears this way.
okay,
Yeah. And to
all
me,
right. So
also appears that this one is speaking, though I know that there is
Mhm.
no little person doing it. I know it's just life doing it.
So the seeking can stop, but the like other expressions can continue of this like organism.
All of it, all of it. Heart is still beating, the stomach is still digesting, the saliva is produced, the bladder gets full, you need to go to the toilet.
Mhm.
You may get enchanted by beautiful gadgets like drones and get into driving drones, doing photography, learning foreign language, cooking. All of those things appear just as they usually appear in the healthy, socialized body mind. And in unhealthy, they appear as schizophrenia or as any other bulimia, whatever it is. The habits, the behaviors are just what this body is capable of, like habits and behaviors of birds or cats or dogs. They still continue throughout life. It's just one idea that I am imagined self, separate, running the show, responsible for my thoughts. That idea is just unthinkable. It's too much of a joke. Cat doesn't believe that. Bird doesn't believe that. Baby doesn't believe that. And somewhere along the line, humans were conditioned to believe that I am this costume, and I am responsible for my thoughts and for my digestion and for my growing my head. Oh, no, I'm responsible for some of the things this machine do and not the others. Depends on the religion, depends on the system of thoughts. But the truth is, it all runs on autopilot. Heartbeat runs on autopilot. Planets are moving around the sun totally on autopilot. Trees are growing leaves and capturing oxygen and getting all on autopilot. Self-organizing universe. Nobody has to do anything at all. Just being conscious, just watching the show, enjoying the unfolding, and wow. Because that universe, that aliveness, that essence, that capacity, infinite capacity for creation, that's the reflection of what you are in essence. But you're not the doer. It all goes on autopilot. You're the space, completely relaxed. Relaxation takes you there. Trying doesn't. Trying to understand it, trying to imagine it. Nah, it's like they call it blind alley. Like in the labyrinth, it's no way there. The only way is, just you are the space-like awareness. What does space do? It just is. It does nothing. Be space-like. Just be. Do nothing. And within that, the doing happens. The body is still, the lungs are expanding and contracting, the heart, all of this still happening. But there is no illusion that I'm doing it. Thoughts are happening. No illusion that this is I'm doing. Judgment happens. Oh yeah, my neighbor is fat and stupid. Wow, where did that come from? I didn't think that. All of it is just happening.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank you. This is an amazing show. It's absolutely amazing. And who's got the hand up? Is it?
Jenny's had her hand up for a while. There's a few
Oh, thank you for waiting, Jenny. No, come, read the comments. I don't have the glasses.
No, no problem. I loved every word that came out of Cass' mouth. And to summarize it all is same, but different.
Mm.
It's really, and it's also when you were speaking, Primali, and you were sharing first, and you were sharing about how you observed everything that was moving in your life and how things were happening, how you were listening to a video. Listening to you, it was so obvious that it was this space, the awareness, the knowingness that was registering. Like, I love the word that Dean often uses, registering, that there is this registering capacity that's on all the time, even when we're in sleep. In deep sleep, we know that we have been asleep, even though we have been deep asleep. When we wake up, we still know that we actually were asleep, or we know that we had a bit of a not as good of a sleep as we would have wished, that it was maybe a drifting sleep where we were somewhere between awake and conscious, or whatever you want to call it. But there is this registering capacity that is aware of everything. And so there's nothing really that changes. I can still sit down and meditate if I feel like meditating. And it's really lovely. The body still enjoys experiences happening. I mean, I still love traveling. I still love meeting new people. There's still a part that rather it's more enjoyable to get a hug than to get a slap in the face. You know, sure, everything is the same, but it's still so different because it's just appearing. It's just appearing. And also, again, with that often used analogy about the ocean and the wave, it's just a wave that's appearing and then pulling back into the blue that isn't even blue. And the freedom is in this registering capacity is so loving, is so unjudgmental that it doesn't judge the judgments. You know, today I can sit, for instance, and notice that I'm getting sick and tired of listening to somebody, or that, I can think, oh wow. I mean, I was in a gathering with some old friends yesterday online, and I watched this one judging, oh gosh, they're japping the same drama, the same victimhood as has been going on for the past 10 years. And but the difference is I could just register that was happening, but there was no beating up of this seeming Jenny person that, I shouldn't be doing this, or I should think better thoughts, or you're not compassionate, you're not spiritual, you're not this, you're not that, you should be more, blah, 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 blah. There all was happening in a sense in this emptiness, and this registering. I love the word registering, and also the other word that came up a few weeks ago, contentment. And contentment is whatever bloody fucking whatever, to use a bit of profound language so that Julia isn't the only one using it. Whatever the fuck's showing up, is just content. It's just content. So the contentment is that regardless of the content, all is well, nothing's wrong. And that's the little burst that came out of here. So thank you. And I see Isabel is
Thank you
waiting
very,
for
very much,
space.
Jenny. Thanks very much, Jenny. Thanks.
Yeah, that was
You're
beautiful.
welcome.
That was beautiful. And Isabel, would you like to unmute?
Yes, hello, hello. I'm here in the room from people, but it doesn't matter. I want to share my voice because I was to the therapy and was not fitting with this. I think shit, man, but now I'm here, and I'm still recovering in very beautiful houses. But when Jenny said the registration, I have an ocean of time here. Because I do nothing, I have nothing to do. The body is still and quiet and painful, and it's a different challenge. And now I got a book from Bob, Behind Odds, Behind Words. I make it in Dutch, and with helping with Magic Box. My English is not so good, but I make it in Dutch. And it's so yummy. I say that the mother language is, I love English. English is more to the point. But when I make this book now in Dutch, wow, man. And you know what resonates by me? I hear Jenny's word, I forgot it, the registration. And what really resonated by me was now from Bob, the activity of knowing. The activity of knowing. There is nobody knowing. There is nothing to know. But the activity from knowing with no solution, with no mental, this is, this is, this. Activity of knowing is so unborn, wordless, free, pure. It is so open. Yeah. You don't know what this show is doing here, but it is a great, it's unbelievable. And sure, sometimes I also go in my pain or that, but what I really appreciate from the mind, there is no mind, but the mind, they help now. In the moments when it is, when I go to grieve, the spot is on, and then who's grieving? Who is grieving? Who is grieving? Yeah, there is grieving. And also I mentioned I was with Julia. I love it to start with her, that she gives the voice to. I know her for a long time. She don't know me. I know her for many years, to see all that Zoom sessions with Bob for many years. And the children were smalling and sleeping on the floor. And, it was a very beautiful journey. And she mentioned there is nobody here. And that is true. But also the nice seeing, even when you say you are worthless, you are beautiful, you are the queen, you are the bad girl. It's all an experience. And that magic box here, make believe us that. They make believe the self. Oh, you're not, you're an ugly girl. And then, it's such a crazy thing that voice, what's coming up, we have no choice for it, that makes the world and for this body and all of us, it makes it so worst. And it believes itself, man. You are ugly, man. That the voice, you are ugly. It's that words. It's and that I want to share. That I make that book in Dutch, and then came that sound, that point, the it's not coming up now, but I'm blank. Sorry for that. It's happening also. It's happening also. I see the people here around, but it doesn't matter. Hey guys, lots of love from the recovering here. I'm the youngest here. I'm the youngest. It's so sweet. I speak so much beautiful old people with so much stories, and I'm a good listener. And I have so beautiful stories. I'm now here for 2 weeks. I can write a book. The sad stories from the human being. And also the good stories from the human being. But guys, lots of love.
Yeah, beautiful.
And thank you, Julia, for coming up. I appreciate it to
Mm.
hear you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was just gorgeous, and I love that part when people highlight the words, like, one word, the activity of knowing. Wow, thank you, Isabel. And
Really, wow.
Jenny, the registering, and even, the not judging the arising judgment, the things that are just such a beautiful anchors to just one word, bringing up the whole,
Yeah.
releasing the whole resonation, the whole point. And we have few things on the screen too. Jenny says, access the well-being by shutting up. Yeah, that I think we read that one. Shutting up a moment, love that one. Yes, I think we read, I don't know how many we read. We read Yvonne, and then we got Jenny, the same being enjoys the experience of being in companionship with others. Yes, Epak, I think we read that one too. And every feeling, everything is welcome as the space does not mind to anything appearing in it and a heart. And you are that space, not the anger appearing. Exactly. Being, Yvonne says, being curious what feeling or thought will arise is the joy, Sat Chitananda. Absolutely. We are already in the tiger's mouth. No escaping. That's the good news. Being clueless, cared for, cared free, says Yvonne. Beautiful. And Cornelius, trying to understand is the mind trying to conceptualize the stillness that you are. Yes, and there's no way it can ever happen. Effectively, accurately, whatever. Knowing continues, but there is no longer a me that knows, just knowing. That's beautifully put, exactly. There never was a me, but there was a persistent illusion. Jenny says the same, but different. And even registering as a camera or the eye of God, seeing everything. Yeah, that type of registering. We like the camera, like no judgment. Thanks, Jenny, says Primali to Jenny and hearts. And Yvonne says, you were judging, quote unquote, from the mind, not from the heart. Shut up, just happened. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else would like to add something, contribute something, a word, maybe a favorite word, a favorite pointer, or anything? Oh, Cornelius, go on. You have to unmute. Oh yeah, there you are.
Okay. I really liked the other day when you were talking about the pink world, and something in the pink world can't see any difference between itself and the rest of the world. And I've been thinking about that since Sunday. And it's like Nama Rupa is pink, and the mind that's trying to figure out Nama Rupa is also pink, but the Satchitananda is not pink, and the pink happens in the Satchitananda. So that was good. I like that. Thanks for that. That's all.
Yeah, that's beautifully narrated. That's exactly it. That's right. Yeah. Dino, you want to expand on that? What was yours?
Perfect.
Yeah, I like that too.
That could be blue.
Tony, because Tony was talking about different paints that, mixed together, and suddenly the next thing was pink. Expand on something else then.
No. No. Well, I think earlier when when we're talking about like welcoming everything, I think registering is far better word than welcoming. Welcoming implies there's someone to welcome and someone to not welcome. And I think that whole idea would be much healthier just registering, you know, it just is. Just the isness of whatever's happening is happening without welcoming. Because I'm welcoming or I'm not welcoming, it all gets messy. It's just simply as it is, it's happening. Whatever's happening. This is nothing happening, appearing as energy, and energy is appearing as whatever it appears to be, whether it's someone chasing thoughts around looking for myself, or am I in this toe? Am I behind the head? Am I here? Oh no, I must be there. Oh, I'm actually in this arm. Oh, but if I cut this arm off, I'm actually not in this arm. Where am I? this cat and mouse chasing. The chaser and the chasee are the same. It's the same energy. It's the same pink. Cornelius.
Yeah, Cornelius.
Registering is more neutral term than welcoming, I guess. There's still stuff that you feel, but you're not necessarily welcoming the grief, but you're certainly registering the grief. And that makes me think to the Sin Ming, where he says, don't have any opinions for or against anything. And as soon as you have one opinion like that, you separate heaven and earth. And you do that by oh yes, I welcome this terrible anger, I welcome these murderous thoughts, but you don't really just sort of neutrally register them.
Or observing. For the same reason I like registering.
Yeah.
Again, what I came from before, I used to do the Sedona method, and that word welcome was.
Yeah, that was from them. That's their language. Though,
Yeah.
you know, it's not completely unreasonable. I can see the point in which, you know, welcoming is like a step further. You are more
kick it
in
up
the
a notch.
Ananda part
It's
of
kicking it
that
up a
Satchit
notch.
Ananda. You know, there's just not only because there is also a popular sort of a way of putting it by allowing or something. You know, there's nothing to allow. It's already here. So since it is already here, whatever it is, a grief or anger or sadness, doesn't matter what it is already here. It's too late to welcome it or to allow it. It's already registered too. Otherwise, you don't even know that it exists. So this is not even an action that is happening in time. Whether it is allowing or whether it is welcoming. Welcoming is kind of like, this is sort of like the way I feel it, the underlying joy, like, oh, I don't mind, you know, the sense of like, wow, oh, this is arising, this is arising, oh, darkness, oh, light, oh, winter, oh, summer. That's sort of that's sort of like that appreciation quality. It's not exactly welcome, I want you, because there is no one there, but there is that undercurrent appreciation for whatever arises, even if that's uncomfortable.
To the degree that we can celebrate or even be grateful. So like, I've told you this story 1,000 times, but maybe not everyone here has heard it. So, I mean, there was a time I was feeling very sad because my cat had died, and then I talked to Kat, and she wasn't trying to make me not feel sad, but she did say something that, you know, that really just made the sadness disappear. My cat of 19 years died, and I loved my kitty. I was sad. And she said, can you be grateful for that sadness? Because without that, you wouldn't know joy. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I can be grateful. Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? Just that gratitude. And that's really kind of going, that's like welcoming. Okay, that is like, to the degree that something is welcome and celebrated, and I'm using degrees, I'm supposing they're all coming up in thought. Even loving and all that is, anything that stops us from loving anything would only be a thought, you know? And so to the degree that I guess I'm using degrees, but I don't know how else to say this, but to the extent that I'm not in thought and that I'm in here. Fully yeah, then what comes, comes, and what goes, goes, and nothing sticks.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I like to think of little babies. I think they're great metaphors and examples of like showing us models because they get pissed off. Kitties. Yeah, kitties are good. Animals are great.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd buy them babies because we're humans.
We know.
We're not humans, but you know what I meant. We're more like,
Yeah, I know.
do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, of course. Yes, yes. Yeah.
The worst thing I could say is I'm human, but no, I understand.
Yeah,
No,
but,
no,
but your car is a human car.
Yeah,
So by me,
yeah,
it's
and
special.
so, a lot of us would like think, well, like, I don't know, I used to have my babies and we used to think about, yeah, but they're fine and they're happy because they don't have a reason to be unhappy. I used to need a reason to be happy. That can just be. I think that's at the core. That's like somebody was talking earlier about really boredom. It occurred to me once is that this sense of well-being is on the other side of boredom. So if I can be okay with boredom, that's freedom.
Yeah, Yvonne says, I'm only human. That's the worst. Yes, that was Bob very often say.
Yeah.
When people believe in the, I'm Australian, I'm a good boy, I'm not so good, I had trauma, I've been abused, and after all, I'm only human. That's the worst, he says. That's just all misconceptions. But we have Jenny, would you like to unmute? Jenny.
That's a bit better. Now I'm not mute. I think it was Tanya who once, quite a long time ago, said something funny about, that we're always a step behind. And that's what I wanted to point to, that all the words that we're using, welcoming, embracing, accepting, resisting, blah, blah, ding, da, da, that's just something that is happening after the fact or whatever, however I shall put it. It's a narrative. It is a narrative, and it's again flavored with something, some texture of some sort. Even if it's flavored of a, well, negative or positive or blah blah or bodig blah blah da, 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 da. That's why, to me at least, registering is the closest to the word cognizing emptiness, because I have a hard time attaching an emotional flavor to the word registering. I mean, is registering good or bad? I mean, it's kind of funny. It's just registering. It's the closest to the isness that is already happening. I mean, it's already a fact. Whatever is going on is already a fact, and the rest is a narrative lagging behind. So however smart we think that we are not smart at all. Something else is much faster. Life itself is unfolding faster. Life itself is faster than AI. I mean, even AI isn't as fast as life itself. It's also registers things after its fact. So, I mean, I just wanted to point that out so that, yeah, that is what came. I'm standing on the on the barricades for registering. Registering is the right word.
You got our votes. And Primari says, thanks, my long-lasting questions resolved today. And Ivan says, there is only no ink. Careless, careful, beautiful. And Tanya, would you like to add on the?
Just on top of it, and the meaning making, the giving meaning is also spontaneous and fresh and new, and it's coming up now. It's not, and Yeah, it's registered that there's meaning making being applied, and that it's just it's not there's not even necessarily consistency to it. You can ask the same question on different occasions, and the spontaneous response that comes up may be completely different. It's part of the fun of the whole narrative story. Yeah, but you're right, Jenny. You know, once it's occurred, like there's everything is after the fact, after it's happened. And this is the thing about words and symbolic language that Bob was always reminding us of, is, you know, the word is not the thing, and there's so much arbitrariness to all of that. You know, my good rule of thumb is if it's got words in it, it ain't that. And it never will be. That all of that is a dead end. But it's fun to look, like we were saying before. You know, there's an attachment, if you like, to the story because it's fun or reassuring, or the seeker concept, or the, you know, the mask of the seeker. There's familiarity. There's all of that. It gives comfort. What's wrong with that? Yeah. But and there's a registering too. Good word. It's sticking. The registering. Yeah. Good. That's it.
Go on, Dima.
Oh, it's this registry is going on. We might as well finish with it as well. Go, Jenny. But it's, if you look like, you see, in the registering, there is no time. There, registering is immediate. It's absolutely, it's actually what is right now. There's no time in it. So if words are registered, they are spontaneously appearing. There is no labeling is not registering. Registering is just everything as it is before the label even appears, and it is timeless. And there is no beginning to it. There's no end to it. There is no center to it. There is no one that it's happening to or for. So registering is absolutely, like, I mean, we're just expanding it and going nuts over it, but it is the cognizing emptiness. It is the immediacy. It is the presence awareness that we've been talking about from the very start, which is the only thing, which is the great part of the whole, which is what the whole show is based around. And the registering is the knowing that the undeniability of what's going on. And everything else, every problem, every thought, every idea, everything appears on top of it or superimposed. It's under or on top of, or there's no really on top of, because there's no direction. There is no distance. There is no location. So there can't actually even be an on top of. But the registering includes, everything is included in it. Even the labels that I said, the label is not registering, but the label is included in the registering too. So you can't get out of the registering. No one was ever in the registering. It is just pure registering.
Yeah,
And
cognizing.
Cognizing, registering, and nothing else. And that's it.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, beautiful. No ink, it says Yvonne. There is only no ink. Careless, carefree. Yes, meaning making is all inclusive and post factum, says Yvonne. Yeah, beautiful. So that's it. That's really, see how one pointer can actually really be everything you ever need. Just find out or notice how that registering is just automatic function done by no one. And that's it. That's really the final answer. This is it. It's no one. You are that no one, that emptiness with the capacity of registering. So that's it. That's and just like Julia started, you know, the world, the superimposed fictitious reality is made of words, believing them, believing the meanings. Underneath, there is the emptiness, which completely doesn't mind, doesn't give a shit. It just knows. So thank you, everyone. We're going to be here in a couple of days. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Thank you. Yeah, ruffle the feathers.